everyone, it's me, Aaron.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is the third week of the post-Shriek Out reaction, our month-long horror movie celebration where we watch a brand new horror movie every single day. And this is Viewer Choice Week, and today's request is coming from Patreon. I decided that this week, 7 days in the week, we'll alternate, do 4 of the viewer requests from everybody on YouTube and Twitter and everywhere else, and 3 of them would be specially designated to the patrons. Today's request comes from Gear Gangster J, who want us to watch DeadCon, which is a film that is up on Netflix right now, and this film is interesting. They said they wanted us to review this because it is a horror film that is all about influencers, which I hate that term. I hate that. Like, someone once on Twitch asked me, do you prefer influencer or content creator? Content creator, because I create content. Influencer sounds like I have a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But then again, like, I feel like there is a difference between content creator and influencer, and this is going to be very disrespectful of me to say this, because it's not like these people don't do work, they don't actually have to manage things, but content creators are people who I picture sitting down at a desk, writing out a script, having to get video clips, having to actually edit stuff together, spending weeks working on a project to actually get it out there. An influencer is someone who's like, yo, what up? I'm here at this place. Leave a like. Done. I was like, that's not. Oh god.
Like, basically, you think like influencers are just vloggers, or like
kind of. To me, an influencer is someone who they basically just come in there and it's like, hi, like me because I'm me. Which I hate saying that because you do need a personality. You do need to know how to interact with people to do that. There is a level of skill required to all that. You do need to learn how to like craft your charisma around all that to be able to make it work. I do understand there is a level of work to that, but you're not exactly creating content, you're more of
promoting yourself.
Promoting yourself, that's exactly what it is. And promoting yourself is a skill. I cannot tell you how many really good YouTubers out there have never gotten attention because they just don't know how to promote themselves. But yeah, so to me, I do understand there is kind of a difference between influencer and content creator, but if I had to choose one, I would say content creator is the preferred term. But yeah, this is a horror film about influencers, and sorry, my body is trying to reject any words I want to say about this. It's just a weird film, and not even because of the premise, but just because of the structure of the film.
Yeah, like I told you, this feels like a rough draft.
Yes, when you said that, it was like a light bulb went over my head. I was like, that's exactly what this feels like. This film feels like someone had an idea, they banged out that script, and they didn't show to somebody else to edit it for them. Because this is the first weird thing about this film. It's 77 minutes long, and I think by the motion picture, the Academy of Motion Pictures, I think that their definition of a feature-length film is 80 minutes. So it's very weird to see a 77-minute long film. Like, you couldn't add 3 more minutes to this thing? That's odd.
Especially when there was so much you could add to this.
And that's the other thing about this, is that this, in many ways, almost feels like the prequel to another horror film. It's so odd because there are ideas in here. And honestly, I like the ideas in this. Essentially what this film is that there is a convention going on called VidCon, was that it?
VidCon or something like that. It's basically like similar to like TwitchCon. Where
it's basically that, yeah. That's exactly what it is. Wait, was TwitchCon the one that had the pool with the ball pit in there?
No, that's DashCon.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay.
That's another horror story for another day.
Oh, that was Fire Fest before Fire Fest. Oh, yes. Anyway, I remember the weekend of that happening and just looking on the internet, just like, oh my. What? Where's that anything? But yeah, anywho, this is essentially supposed to just be like TwitchCon, and is just like a big convention for influencers to come to. And we're following a handful of them, and the film is kind of supposed to be about how draining it is to be a content creator, to be an influencer, which, as I said, I don't necessarily think that. I think there is a difference between the people who just like vlog what they're doing and promote themselves, and the people who actually like create video essays or create like reviews or things like that. I do think that there is a difference between those people. However, one of the things that unites all of us is that no matter what you do on the internet, you have to constantly be doing it, and it's draining. It is really, really draining. And one of the main girls that we're following in here is someone who they're just done, and they don't want to do this anymore. They are tired of having to make a video about every single aspect of their life. They're tired of having to talk about everything. They're tired of having a schedule that tells them every single place that they have to go. And like, you know what? Even I make it sound like, being the way that I divide up. I make it sound like being an influencer is much easier than being a content creator, but it is a lot of work because you have to always be working. So yeah, the burnout is definitely a thing, and I did kind of appreciate that this film, when I heard the premise of this, and when this thing opens up, and you see that it's going to be a horror film starring influencers, you think it's just going to be the biggest group of douchebags. You think it's just going to be a bunch of, narcissistic, me people at all times. No.
Only some.
Yeah, there's definitely one in here. There is definitely one in here. But the main girl that we're following, she's a very human person, and she's going through the very human experience of just being burnt out from all this, and I kind of appreciated this film. I kind of appreciate that this film respected the target of this film enough to realize, we know what it's actually like out there for you guys. We know that this is actually kind of tough on you guys. It is a ton of work, constantly, at all times.
And when she goes to the convention, she's just surrounded by fans who are constantly taking her picture, even though she's so done with everything.
There's a moment in which she is walking through the halls and she is just completely out of it, and you don't even know if this is because of anything supernatural or if it's just her mind state, but she's walking around. She forgot to put shoes on that morning because she is so tired, and everybody's going, no shoes, that's the new look, hashtag no shoe life, and just photographing her, and she's oh my god, yeah. And yeah, you kind of you have to kind of I'm not going to say relate to her on that, but you have to
understand.
Understand, that's it, yes. You have to understand. I forgot the word understand. I have no sympathy. What is that? Anyway, yeah, so I did kind of appreciate that. But what the film is actually about is that it's these influencers, they're going to this hotel, and the hotel's all booked up, so they decided to put one of the girls in this one room, and it's essentially 1408.
It is.
It's that one room that's we're not allowed to book this for anyone, but the manager for this girl is do you know who this is? The girl we're following, she's perfectly fine. Her manager is the asshole.
Yeah.
Her manager is do you know who this is? She needs actual, attention, kick out, I think they even said, kick out TikTok star or something like that. I was that's actually kind of a good, I like that they're showing, a hierarchy here to, the influencer levels. They're telling him, kick something out, and then they go, oh, I'm sorry, room just opened up, and it's the haunted room that you're not allowed to put anyone in. But here's the thing. They never really explain what the haunted room is.
I mean, in the intro, you get what happened in the room.
Kind of. You don't know what exactly that is. You just kind of it'd be if all of a sudden you saw a horrible thing happen, but you're well, why did that horrible? What's happened?
And then suddenly, fast forward to the present day. So it's wait, what happened in between?
And this isn't just there's a ghost in there. There's a lot of explaining that goes into this, and that we don't quite get. Which is another reason. Sorry, I've got punch that out. All right, punch out the indigestion. There we go. But there is, it's not indigestion, it's allergies. My allergies have been nuts this year.
Allergies, indigestion, they all kind of mush together with
Thorgiween stress. Yes. But yeah, it's so weird because what this film starts off with is a guy in that hotel room, and he is working on some computer program back in the 80s. And then the computer starts talking to him and says, hi, I'm...
Bobby.
Bobby? That was it, Bobby, yes. Hi, I'm Bobby. Can you help me? Do you want to play? It's I'm sorry, Bobby, I don't know who this is. The guy's talking back and he has no idea where this is coming from. And he was on the phone a moment ago talking about how he sunk all of his money into this program. And then that's kind of all you get from the opening. And then in the modern day, you start seeing the little ghost kids walking around the hotel, or a room will open up and they'll look into the room and then they'll just see the old desk and old computer sitting there, and you'll hear the dial-up sounds. But the program he's working on was something Rabbit. Do you remember what it was called?
Link Rabbit.
Link Rabbit, that's what it was called.
Yeah, it was basically like a prototype of the internet.
We think?
Sort of?
Again, it's not explained. Not nearly enough information is given on this. And listen, I know that when it comes to heart, you don't want to over-explain. When you over-explain, that becomes a problem and it takes a lot of the tension out. They under-explain the crap out of this.
And when you under-explain a horror movie, you're not scared, you're just confused.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, you look at this, and there's definitely ideas.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely things in here that could work. Like, even though this is not that great of a film, it is an interesting film, and I would like to see what this writer and director could do again if they just have a producer come in here and go, hold on, add something there. You need a scene like this here. Like, I know that oftentimes people look at producers and go, oh, those guys come in and they just interject the ideas and they ruin the vision of the creators. Sometimes the creator's vision isn't whole, and you do need someone with experience in this department to come in here and go, listen, you need to do this thing. Sometimes that is necessary, and the people who made this film, they had ideas, but they needed someone to come in here and go, all right, let's just smooth it, let's just buffer this a little bit. Let's just smooth this out, just render this. I'm just gonna upgrade you to the next level on this one. All right, here we go. Because again, the name of the program was Link Rabbit, and it's implied that this guy went to this technology convention back then, and he had merch for a Link Rabbit. So every now and again you see a Link Rabbit balloon up there. But we don't know what Link Rabbit is, and the thing is, no one ever talks about what Link Rabbit is. As the film goes along, someone mentions to one of the other influencers Link Rabbit, and then you see him looking up online Link Rabbit, and then it says Link Rabbit at TechCon 84. Link Rabbit opens at 84. Link Rabbit opens at TechCon. Link Rabbit undersells, something like that. And you're looking at this going, yeah, okay, but what was Link Rabbit? What was this thing? We know that somebody back at Technology Convention in 84 had a thing called Link Rabbit, and it didn't go well, and you get a sense at one point that there's some kind of a satanic ritual, some guy is talking about how he did everything for this to make this thing work. So when you see there's flashes of haunted stuff on him, and you see a blood splatter pentagram at one point, it's kind of implied this guy made a deal with the devil to try and get this thing to work.
Supposedly this devil is a little kid named Bobby, but they don't explain that either. It's just...
And that's the kind of thing that's okay, you give me enough clues to kind of guess a devil thing, but again, what the hell is this thing he was trying to make? It's very important, because what it feels like is that, as you said, it was maybe some kind of a prototype for the internet, and the idea that a prototype for the internet is now haunted and it's killing modern day internet celebrities, that's actually an interesting idea. That actually is the kind of thing that I look at and go, you know what? There's definitely something you could do with that. But because we don't know what the hell this thing is, that doesn't work. I'm just trying to piece this together, not because of anything the movie gave me, but because it feels like that would be a good thing to do in here, I guess. I don't know. This film does not give enough information, and as I said, it's not like they were going long and they had to cut for time.
No.
Yeah, this thing needed someone to come in here and explain some stuff.
Yeah, and another thing that frustrated me is there was really no conclusion either.
No, this thing at the very end, okay, this is one thing that I actually have to point out, and you go, this is bad. At the end of this thing, it turns into found footage. This is not a found footage film. I mean, considering the fact that there's a bunch of people who constantly, because of their career, have to be on their phone at all time, it could absolutely have been a found footage film. But at the end of this thing, the one guy has discovered that there is something haunted about this room, so he goes charging into the room, and he needs his phone in order to see stuff because everything is dark in there, and then it just cuts to footage from the phone. And the last 5 solid minutes of this film is just a found footage film from there. You can't just suddenly become a found footage film. You can't just suddenly make that happen. But I looked at this and went, you know what? I almost wish this was a found footage film, because in found footage films, all you can see is what is on the video footage. So because of that, if you don't give me all the answers or all the explanations to a found footage film, it's understandable, and it kind of makes it feel more like you just found what was on this footage.
And it makes sense because these are influencers, so
they would have their phones out all the time. So yeah, if you had just made a found footage film the entire time, I would actually have excused a lot of the like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Why is any of this stuff happening? But sorry, but you're not. Sorry, goddamn. But you're not a found footage film. You're an actual normal film. A normal film where I can see things happening when characters aren't there and I can get extra information on things. So why do I not get the information that I need in order to understand enough of this in order for me to get the connection that this film is supposed to have? It's very, and like I said, because, as you said, this thing, it doesn't really have a conclusion. It just, like a found footage film, it just ends like that. It really does kind of feel like this was a prequel to another horror film. Another horror film that, in that one, they would explain all the stuff that you need to know in order to understand the connections between anything in here. And this one was more like, oh, that one did well, so we're gonna come in here and make a prequel about it. It's just gonna be like a cheap, like we're gonna make this quick kind of a thing. But it's not. This is the film. And yeah, it's, man, I know that a lot of people are probably going to hate on this film. Like, I just get that feeling from it. It's gonna be one of the people on. There's not enough in here for me to hate. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, it's like, there's potential, and it's hard to like get angry at a movie that has potential.
Yes. You can't be angry at someone with potential. You can just be disappointed, which in some ways is worse. And yeah, that's exactly what this is. I looked at this and I was like, these filmmakers actually feel like they have good ideas, and man, they can shoot a scene pretty well. There is some good cinematography in this movie. There are some really nice shots of those hotel hallways. So yeah, I was actually pretty impressed by these filmmakers, but holy crap, when it came to actually like fitting everything together, you needed someone to come in here and go, you guys got potential, I'm gonna show you how to use that potential. Yeah, it is a real shame. This thing kind of just like falls apart in the way that it does because there's actual good stuff in here. Listen, it's on Netflix. I would definitely say it's worth checking out. It is worth checking out, but you're gonna kind of walk away from it going, yeah, but it could have been better. But yeah, I would still like, man, I'm not gonna give this thing a rating, but it's kind of going back and forth between an 8 and a 3. Just like, it's kind of really good right now, but no, like that. It's a series of sound effects coming out of my mouth. That's what it is. It is Guy from Police Academy. Yeah, it's, man, there's more I want to say about this, but it's just going to be me repeating myself because that's kind of what it's like to watch a film that has promise and they just don't do anything with it. You kind of just want to come in here and hope that if you keep talking about the movie will change and become the thing that it almost was. But yeah, that's it. That's DeadCon. Thank you guys for checking out day 2 of the viewer request. Come back tomorrow for... Oh, yeah, tomorrow's a weird one. You didn't watch the one tomorrow, so it's going to be...
This is going to be a treat.
Yeah. This will be a treat. Sleepaway camp while you eat. There you go. That's a spoiler for tomorrow. And Simpsons reference. I had to get one in this year. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, happy Halloween.
Bye. Bye.